Hi everyone, in this video I'm moving on to the structure of the interior of the house. I'm going to be doing this before fitting the windows that I've been making because I'm concerned that it might be a bit rough for the house and I don't want the windows falling off. So on this side here I am going to have the Tudor kitchen, and on the left hand side is going to be the banqueting area. So as you can see, I've turned the doll's house on its side with the help of my mum and the help of the cat, obviously, very hard work. And we're going to be taking this away, and I was planning on sawing out a hole into this wall to make an ingle-nut kind of fireplace, and ta-da, somebody's already done it for me. This was such a fantastic surprise. So inside this gap here is where I'll be trying to produce a stony effect and putting a fire where the food will cook. I don't know yet whether I'll make that hole a bit bigger or not. I've also then attempted to save and salvage some of the bits of the doll's house that are already here, because my plan is to take this internal wall out and make the banqueting hall a double story height. Now then, warming up the skirting board helped to soften the glue, and it worked really well for half of it, but as you can see it split, and so then I've had to use a can opener, and then I've got a knife to prise it off there and a screwdriver too. I have still saved these two bits. I think that they fit back together okay, and I think I'll be able to reuse them. Obviously I've used things to get these off that are sharp, so if you're doing this yourself, please be careful and don't copy what I'm doing, and obviously it's not something for children to be doing. So I've got a Dremel here and I'm attempting to saw out this ceiling and to take the internal wall out, but it was such hard work and I'm not quite sure if I'm doing a good job on it, so I've just paused and thought I'll try and salvage a few more bits first. So the wallpaper stripped off easily after heating it with the hairdryer, but unfortunately after heating this little fireplace with the hairdryer I thought it might relax the glue underneath, but it actually melted the metal, and when I tried to prise it away I've broken the fireplace, which I feel really bad about. So I've just taken the hearth off here so that I can get to the fireplace properly because the hearth was blocking it. I want to see what damage I've done. So if I just take the fireplace off, I'm not heating it up anymore because it made it really soft and bendy. Okay, so yeah, it's bent and it's also now a bit of it's chipped out. I think I might be able to repair it though, because the two pieces that have chipped out have chipped away quite smoothly. Oh, it's a random cushion inside the chimney. That was unexpected. I think that matches some of the things that came out of the house when I first got it. So I think that if I take the bits that fell out, that I broke, not that fell out, I think I might be able to stick them back together, and maybe if I heat it back up I might be able to flatten it back down as well because it's changed shape. Can't believe I've broken that. Right, never mind, let's move on. So as I said earlier, I want to take this ceiling out and the internal wall to make a double height banqueting hall. So I started by trying to use the drill bit on the Dremel to punch holes which I would then cut through, but actually the Dremel didn't come with any accessories for cutting through wood, so what I'm going to do is pause there, buy an accessory and then come back. So it's the next day now, and I've woken up feeling a little bit glum about how my doll's house went yesterday. As you can see, everything's a mess. The doll's house has sections that are damaged in it. The one lucky part was this fireplace. But what I'm going to do is have a quick tidy up before I get started again today, because I think it'll make me feel better. So as you can see, we've turned the doll's house back the right way around because I thought it would be easier with it on its side, but it wasn't, and everything's looking a little bit more organised, ready to get started. So yesterday I hit a bit of a brick wall because I didn't have the correct fitting for my Dremel to cut through the wood. So what I did was I popped out and bought a new fitting. Now at the moment I don't know whether this was a good buy or not. It's all cost quite a lot of money, although I'm hoping I can use the Dremel for lots of other things as well. So it's just this fitting here that I needed, the wood cutting one, which is the gold disc, and also the little fitting on the left hand side, because the gold disc doesn't fit to the original fitting that came with the Dremel. So when I went to B&Q, it was actually out of stock, so I've had to buy this set, but it's got lots of other bits in it as well, so it was a bit more expensive, but the sanding disc will probably come in useful. So let's get started and see if I can cut through the wall. So my plan is to remove this ceiling and also the internal wall to the right so that the staircase becomes part of a double height room. I'll also think I'm going to leave a balcony at the back of here. So I've tried to peel some of the carpet off, but it's stuck down really well, so I think I might have to just try and cut through it. Everything in this doll's house is stuck down really well. It's a well-made doll's house. I feel quite bad for trying to change it, to be honest. I'm determined that all the changes will be worth it. So I've got my Dremel. This is the old fitting on it, so I need to take this off, and I'll just show you how to do it in case you've got a Dremel. This is how I've learnt to do it. Obviously follow the actual instructions in the Dremel manual, but this little fitting here actually has a spanner attachment within it, so if you screw it off and put it over the black bit that needs to come loose, it can turn. So you've got to press the blue button and then give it a spin. There we go. And then the fitting that I'm attaching is this Speedclic fitting, which I needed to fit the wood cutting disc. So this Speedclic fitting is the bit that made this purchase more expensive, because obviously it wasn't just a case of buying the disc, unfortunately. So pop it in, and then I will tighten in the same way, but turning clockwise this time with the little blue button pressed down. There we go. And then I will click the wood cutting disc in place. Apologies for the poor camera quality today. It is so dark. Even though it's August, it feels like an autumn day, so the lighting's not great. So I've had a look at the Speedclic fitting, and I just have to pull it down, rotate, and then release. Don't rotate too much, there we go. And then when I release, it clicks into position like that. Okay. It's a shame that it couldn't have just gone on the old attachment, but there we go, that one was nice and simple to use. So I'm also going to gather my bits and bobs that I need to get started. So I'm going to wear my safety goggles because I don't want the sawdust in my eyes. I've got a dust mask, and I'm also going to make sure that my pets are out of my room and I've got my doors open. But please don't follow what I'm doing. I'm not giving any advice because I'm just a beginner, I'm not an expert. So this is my first time using the Dremel with the wood cutting fitting, and what I'm trying to do is cut along this top floor so that I can then create a balcony. So to do this, obviously I need to cut down the sides as well, but unfortunately I can't actually position the Dremel in to get to every angle that I need to, so I'm cutting it out in sections here, and I also use some hand tools as well. So that was my granddad's old saw, came in handy, and I took it out section by section. So I'm going to leave this bit of wall in here, but I'm going to try and sand different shapes or carve different shapes into it to make it a bit more of an intricate design, and I need to neaten up the edges now. So this is what it looks like now that I've made my structural changes. So as I say, I'm going to sand and neaten up and make some decorative barriers and railings to go along here. Obviously I need to take the carpets out, and I need to put panelling on the walls to make it look like it's Tudor, from the Tudor times. I also need to sort the little fireplace out that's up on the top floor. And then this fireplace as well, obviously I'll be turning into the kitchen one, and I don't know what to do with this room, so if you've got any suggestions, please let me know. So now I better go and tidy up. Thank you for watching. In my next video I'll show you what I've been up to, and hit subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thank you.